Welcome to Karen Delahunty's Sewing and Knitting Centre. We'd like to show you the Pfaff Passport 2 IDT machine. Here are some of the feet that you get with the Passport 2. Some of them you'll see have got a gap in the back, and that is specific to Pfaff machines. It's used for what they call their IDT system. It's the integrated dual feed. And it's quite a neat little feature, and we'll show you that in a bit. The machine itself, you have lots of stitches which can be easily found in the guide just inside the machine there. There's 70 stitches in all. To pick your stitches that you want, you press the numbers on here. So if we wanted a decorative stitch, number 37, you'd put 3 and 7 and then it would stitch it out for you. On the left hand side of this little screen here that tells you the actual stitch, you've got various buttons. The top ones here will alter the width for you. The second one will alter the length. You can plus or minus the length. This is telling you it's 7mm wide on that particular decorative stitch. But you can make it smaller if you wanted to. It also lights up when you've changed it to tell you that you have made it smaller. Your length is similar. You can make the length of the stitch bigger or smaller. It's a maximum of 3 length there, and you can reduce it down if you want to. This is needle up and needle down position, so you literally can put that and the needle will go down and the needle will come back up. This is your pattern end, so as you're sewing a pattern and you wanted an immediate tie off, you would press that and it would tie off immediately. If you wanted to pattern end it, you press the reverse button first, you sew, and then you press that and it will pattern end. And we'll show you all that in a little bit more detail in a minute when we just get the machine working. Here's your speed control, fast or slow or anywhere in between. It has a needle threader, which we can show you again in a minute or two when we do the actual sewing. And the IDT system, I'll probably have to move the machine around a little bit just to show you the back of that in a moment. So threading the bobbin on the Passport 2, you put your spool on and then you take it through the guides, wrap it round your spool. When you press this over though, you do have to watch the screen on the machine, because you do that and it's already starting to say spool there, which means that, you know, it's a safety thing basically. So when you start to wind it, very quiet. There we go. And then when you push that back, you go back to your normal sewing. Okay, putting the bobbin in is like most machines. You pull this lever and take off your cover from there, and then you're going to drop the bobbin in its right place. Following the arrows, you're going to follow the thread round. Then we're going to take it around the top of there, and it will actually cut the thread for you when you take it underneath that lever and you cut it, so you haven't got to pull it up like the traditional way. And then your bobbin goes back on. So we followed the normal guiding on, as you do on most machines, to thread your top thread across the top and down, round and up again. When you come to do the needle threader, you have to make sure the needle is in the highest position. So going on the interface at the top here, press this button down and up, so now your needle's in the highest position, otherwise your needle threader won't work. Okay, this is the needle threader here, so we're going to go underneath there, then we're going to bring this down, it'll come round and through the needle, take your thread underneath and then you let go and it's threaded. There it is there, look, there's your little loop. Catch your little loop through. I can just grab it with my fingers, there we go, and that's it done. So to show you the IDT, the integrated dual feed, which is one of the features on the FAF machine, on this FAF Passport 2, it's this leg here. It's a bit like a walking foot, but it's built in and it works from the back of the machine. And you have to take it round and underneath. That's the purpose of having those feet with a little channel in the middle. And then when you put your foot down and then you start to sew, you'll see how it works. Let's put it on a slow speed so you can actually see it working. So that's better, there you go. And you can see how it works. So on fine fabrics or matching checks or bulky fabrics as well, it will feed the fabric through evenly from the back. So now let's just do a few of the decorative stitches. So we're going to put in number 62. Now when I press this button here, this will do an immediate tie off right in the middle of the stitch, which you may not want. Although it started the stitch actually at the beginning, it's just literally going to start that next stitch. If you wanted it completely at the end of a pattern, you would have to do it slightly differently. So to complete it at the end of a pattern, so you'd start sewing, but before you do that, you press this. Then you start sewing your pattern. And then when you want to come to the end of it and you want to complete a full-on pattern, you just press this button here. And then you wait to the end and then it should tie it all off for you. And then you can see you've got a complete pattern there and it's finished right at the end of the pattern, where this one was going to start the next one. It was halfway through a pattern. I'll do a better stitch than that just so you can see it a bit better. So stitch number 63, if we just started to sew that, okay. It's a nice satin decorative stitch. And say if we were coming to the end of our fabric and we pressed that button at the top, that's going to give us a tie off, but it's immediate tie off, so it'll tie off right in the middle of your pattern, as you can see there. We want to do a decorative stitch, but we want to be able to finish the pattern on a full pattern at the end. Before you start your decorative stitch, you need to press this button here. Then you can start sewing. And then when you press this pattern here, or this button here, and then wait to the end of the pattern, it should do a complete full-on pattern for you. Like that. Thanks for watching our introduction to the FAF Passport 2 machine. Keep an eye on our YouTube channel for further tips and tricks. You can see this machine in store, and that's at Cowan Delahanty Sewing and Knitting Centre, 80 Warwick Road, Kenilworth. But don't forget as well that we've got a YouTube channel and a website, and you can see any more information if you click on the links below. You'll find us there. Happy sewing!